Hi, hey, hello, my name is Dani. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are a returning watcher or subscriber, haha, sucker. Today in this Saturday speed build, we are recreating that beautiful house that you just saw that originally came in the Sims 2 base game. It is the Tudor house. It is originally a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom. For this build, it does turn into a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, just because I had the extra space, so I threw a shower in there. I followed this to the blueprint, like to a T. I actually downloaded the Sims 2 game to find the blueprint of this house because I couldn't find any online that like did it justice where I could really see what was going on with it. And I wanted to get the squares right, wanted to get the window placement right, everything correct. So I downloaded the Sims 2, installed it, loaded it up, had a little bit of a tear or two for the nostalgia, and got the screenshots. So if you would like to see other houses built, rest assured I can get the blueprints for it. I can get the floor plan, we can build it. I think it'd be really fun to just turn this into an ongoing series because this is now the third house that I have done from The Sims 2 that I have recreated in The Sims 4, and it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it, especially being able to do the things that you wanted to be able to do in The Sims 2 that you couldn't because the technology, the gameplay wasn't there yet, and now you can do it in this game. It just, it's so fun, and it's nice having a piece of nostalgia from The Sims 2 in a Sims 4 game. Speaking of nostalgia, I actually recently had a really good friend that I was really, really good friends with when I was younger reach out to me and let me know that she had been watching the videos that I have been posting for YouTube. So without naming her, I just want to say hi. You know who you are because you messaged me on Instagram. And thank you so, so much for watching these. And thank you also for reaching out to talk to me about it and telling me, you know, that you watch them. And not weird. I love that you do. I really do because I think about you often when I play this game. Like you'll pop into my head a lot, and I still use things that you taught me in building and creativity and storylines in how I play the game now. And it's really cool hearing from you and having those fun memories. They reached out to me and told me that when they watch this, it reminds them of playing the Sims 2 game in my family's computer room, which was a very tiny room, and it took a lot of maneuvering to get 2 chairs in there, a fan, and everything because it was so hot. It was so, so hot in there. Originally, the room was my nursery and then my little sister's nursery, and it was converted into like the family computer room. It was called the computer room, not the office, it was computer room. And so we would cram around my Windows XP computer and play The Sims like literally all night long. That was what we did. The Sims was our thing. When she came over, everybody knew that no one was gonna be able to get on the computer. Like that was gonna be ours. That was our space. Lots of fun. I have a lot of fun with that friend, and I'm really glad that you watch these. And thank you for telling me that you do. And I hope that you can continue to watch them, and maybe down the road when you're in the area, if you ever come up to the area, you can stop by and we can play together like old times, because I think that would be fun. I really want to get people like friends and stuff like that to come on here and play with me and do like little like challenges together because I think that'd be super, super, super fun. But yeah, so thanks for reaching out to me, and I'm really glad to hear from you. I do mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. So, speaking of nostalgia, when I was, again, speaking of it again, one of the fun things that I have, like, a memory of is when we first played, I didn't know that your Sims could get pregnant. I had no idea. And so we were playing, and I remember the exact house we were playing in because it's actually the first one that I recreated in this series of Sims 2 houses. It's that blue one that has, like, the weird roof on it. I'll put a picture in here. Anyways, we were playing that, and my Sim did that like arm up above wave thing, and like was like Dabadiboo, and it zoomed in on her, and I had only had the camera zoom in on the Sim when they were gonna die. So I screamed like 2 o'clock in the morning. My parents' bedroom is right next to this computer room. Screamed, "Oh my god, she's dying!" And my friend was just like, "She's not dying, she's having the baby." And I was like, "No, she's dying, she's dying." And then it did the cut screen or the cut scene, and she had her baby, and we laughed about that so, so, so much. Like I still think about whenever my Sim has a baby, I actually think that I referenced that maybe in one of my videos, like maybe in the 100 Baby Challenge, I might have said like she's dying. It was a reference to that. that memory that I have. That was a lot of fun memories with that friend. She's the one who got me into like MySpace and the music that I listened to and HTML. She helped me make my first MySpace page. And I remember I was not allowed to have a MySpace. My dad did not want me having social media. He was very, for good reason. He was very, very for good reason, but very like cautious about that. So she made me a MySpace and she taught me how to like code, and I got really into like learning how to customize things. So I watched her do it, and then I was like, well, I kind of want to like learn how to do it myself. So I went home, and because of the guilty conscience that I have, I immediately told my dad. I was like, Dad, I made a MySpace, but here it is. It's educational, okay? Because I'm learning how to HTML code, which is a very good skill to use. I was very good at my age of spitting, spitting a reason why I needed to have something. So it was like, I'm learning how to code, Dad, which turned out to not be a lie. I really did learn how to code. I went from MySpace to then Tumblr to then like basic coding in college. And had I been able to mentally finish college, I probably would have went on to HTML code other things and do programming, but alas, that was not in my path. But that friend is the one who got me into it. Also got me into the type of music that I listen to. So thank you for that also. But yeah, so again, this is one of those talky videos. If you are new here and you aren't used to that, I talk a lot in these videos. If you don't want to listen to me talk, you can feel free to mute me at any time and play your own music over it. If you just like to see the build and not hear me talk, I totally get it. I don't even like hearing myself talk sometimes. But I enjoy talking to you guys in this chatty way where you like get to know me, and I'm not just a person behind, I'm not just a face floating on your screen playing a game. Like, you know that there's an actual person here, that I am a real person with, memories and all these different things related to this game or to like life. And I think it's really fun. I like having that personal bit. I don't like when a YouTuber feels untouchable, unreachable. Not in the sense that you have to share everything about yourself. Like, you guys don't need to know everything about me. I mean, you probably will at some point because I'm very open. But I just don't ever want it to come across as that like I'm like mysteriously quiet or I'm not social or something like that, because I love talking to you guys. I'm getting quite a few of you guys commenting or following along or messaging, and I absolutely adore it. I love hearing from you guys. It makes my day when I get a notification that I have like a comment or a reply. It's so awesome. There's a couple of you that like when I don't see your comments on my videos, I legitimately am like, are you okay? Like there was this person who had been following me like since I started posting, and they would comment on most of them, or at the very least they'd like it, and they hadn't for a couple days, and I just saw that they were like catching up on things and stuff too. But I was like, oh my gosh, like, are you alive, are you okay? Not that like you owe me watching, but just because I got so used to seeing them comment that it was weird to not see it. But they're okay, they're alive because they commented. So I was a little worried. I was like, oh my gosh, this one consistent person is not watching. Are they all right? But yeah, I know that sometimes too, in my upload schedule being as wonky as it has been lately, it's a little hard for consistency to be there. So I do apologize if you don't follow me on Twitter, which is again fine, but it is a good way of getting like updates quicker than what YouTube gives them. I got sick. I had COVID. I got COVID. My symptoms came up last Friday, but I have been tired all week, and I thought it was just because I started like a new job. I actually started 2 new jobs. I work full-time one job, part-time at another, just because I want some extra like spending money and travel money and stuff. So I thought that I was just tired from working so much, and I hadn't worked that much in a while, and nope. We went out Friday night to this improv show, and I feel really, really bad because I did not know that it was COVID. I legitimately thought that it was allergies because I'm allergic to dust. My new job involves like deep cleaning homes, and so I thought you just got a bunch of dust exposure. Duh, like you're gonna be stuffy. Went out with my sister to the show, and it was super funny. But that's a side point. I started getting an itchy throat, and again, thought maybe I had just eaten something that was kind of irritating my throat. I have some food allergies too, so I didn't really know. And then towards the end of the night, like all of a sudden, I sneezed. And I don't know if you guys ever have that like one sneeze. I call it the doom sneeze, where you sneeze and your thought or reaction is, oh no, afterwards, because like your whole face fills up. And that's exactly what happened. Like it filled up. I was stuffy. I went and hung out with a friend Saturday night. I stayed at their place, and I was just like I was miserable, but I had to do some stuff. So I was like repainting a dresser, and I got a lot of stuff done. Then Sunday I was kind of still feeling stuffy, not feeling great. Monday came around. I went to work, started like my first full day of my first full-time job. No, of my new full-time job. And between clients, I took a drink and I noticed that I couldn't taste anything. Like I had no taste whatsoever. It wasn't even like a hint of like, oh, it's kind of there. It was like nothing. It was like vanilla Coke. Couldn't taste it. Had a Reese peanut butter cup. Couldn't even taste the peanut butter in it. Called my boss. I was like, hey, well, like I kind of lost taste. I'm not too worried about it. This happens when I have sinus infections, but we're working in people's homes. I wanted you to be aware. I didn't want to like lie to you. And she's like, no, I appreciate it. Like if you're feeling okay, that's fine. I get to the next house and I'm cleaning the grout work, and all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, you guys, but like everything in my face moved forward. I couldn't breathe, and all I could think, literally, my thought was, you're either going to throw up or you're going to pass out, or it might be both. So I like crawl out of the shower. My coworker turns around and looks at me, and she's just like, you need to go home. And I was like, I really don't want to go home. It's my first day. I don't want to call off. I don't want this to be the thing that I do. Did you guys think that I'm like this? She's like, no. She's like, it happens. She's like, but you just do not look like you feel good. She felt my head. Like I definitely had a fever. I went home, still just thinking it's sinuses, but my sister brought me a COVID test just to be sure. I swabbed my nose, and she's had COVID 3 times now. If she gets it again, it'll be her 4th. And so I swabbed my nose and it started burning. And she's like, did it burn? And I said, yeah. She's like, you got COVID then. Like, I already know you do. She's like, for some reason, that solution like burns your nose when you've got COVID. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, it's always burned. Like anybody I know has said that it burns their nose and they've always had COVID. Well, sure enough, she put it on the little test thing and like it popped up positive so fast. So then I had to call my jobs and notify them that I had COVID, which feels worse than having to notify people that you have an STD. I'm not going to lie. Like making a COVID call feels way worse, I think, in my opinion. Maybe that's just me. That's a weird way of looking at it, but that's how I felt. So I let everybody know. Everybody was super nice. My new job, like the part-time job, actually gave me sick leave, which was really nice. The full-time job, the boss like offered to bring me anything if I needed it, and I do get to return to work tomorrow. I picked up a couple of things to do tomorrow just so that paycheck's not entirely stupid, like because I have been off of work for a while now, just kind of working on my mental health and some other health issues that I got going on. And so I was really excited to return back to work because, one, financially needed to, and two, like I was ready to get out of the house. And then, of course, this happens. So just been in kind of a funk, but I'm finally starting to feel that energy of playing again. So I'm really excited that I could build this house and get this uploaded for you guys. And it will be on the gallery. It's actually already like pending to be on the gallery. I also made it a point for this to try and use base game as much as possible. I think some of the decorations like on like the outer, like the outbuilding of it are maybe not base game. It pops up that I've got a couple things from like City Living and the Jungle Adventure one. I don't really remember using anything from that though. Like I really tried to only use base game. So take that with a grain of salt. I mean, still install the house if you'd like to, because I'm pretty sure that most of it is going to be there for you guys. Like, don't worry about that. Make sure that you have mods enabled, because even though this is not built with any mods, any CC, I promise you that there is no CC or modifications made to this house. Make sure you still check it, because the gallery is still flagging it as having it, since I do have them installed now. But when I built this house, the update had just come out and I hadn't enabled mods to come back on yet. So that's why I know that there is none. Because I like to build a house when everything's disabled so that I can use the features of the game that are there and see what's there. And I have to say, when I put down to like base game only for this, it was so much easier to find the clutter that I was looking for. And I'm really glad that I did that, because I found a lot more of what I was looking for without it taking forever to find. Oh, sorry, I got kind of stuffy from talking so much. That's like probably the worst part is like the stuffies come and go a little bit, but at least my taste is back, because I lost my sense of taste Monday and it didn't come back until like yesterday-ish. So this extra room here, I didn't really know what to do with, and I just turned it into like a storage area. So there's a Christmas tree in there. I put like an old desk in there just like as an old timey thing. And for the family that I envision living in this house, it's a grandparent with like their young grandchild that lives with them because their daughter sadly passed away. And so they have a lot of like toddler toys because she hadn't been over in a while. And so like they're like kind of transitioning to her being a kid and having more of a kid like essence to her, like a new room and stuff. But I made it very, as I was doing the landscaping, which I ended up doing more of this off camera because I wanted to really, really, really dive into landscaping a little bit differently and try new things with it. And I didn't want the pressure of there being a camera and it taking forever. So the landscaping that you see now and at the end and when I stop with the actual like live recording is not the finished product. You'll see that in pictures. But I really went ham with it. So the story kind of develops into like these two grandparents. They're really big into gardening and woodworking and just, you know, a by the straps grandparent type of people. But their granddaughter like means the world to them. And she's also got like a green thumb trait like her grandfather does. So she's very close with grandpa and she likes gardening and she likes to play and she's very inquisitive. And I put that bike there as like a that was her mom's bike, and so it just kind of stays there. And in my mind they moved back, she moved back in with her grandparents when her mom was sick, and her mom kind of stayed with them while she was sick. And so it's kind of like a tribute to her mom that it's still there, and it's still a beautiful place to be. And I actually did make a family for this. It's really cute. The grandparents' name was, it was like Ruth Bright, Roger Bright, and then their granddaughter's name is Olive. And they're really, really cute. You'll see a picture of Olive at the end because I like to move in families into the homes that I come up with stories for and give them a home and stuff. So landscaping, this was a little difficult for me, but I did my best. We're going to go into the screenshots you're going to see here pretty soon. I do use reshades, so the picturing and coloring of it is a little bit differently. I liked the fall vibe for this, but you can see that I added way more to the landscaping, really bumped it up, made it look more, I guess, lived in and natural. This house is available on the gallery. My gallery ID is Danibananiboo. Go ahead and download this if you want to. Tell me what you like about it, and let me know if you'd like to see other Sims 2 houses being rebuilt. If you have a favorite, comment it below and I will find it and I'll rebuild it. If you want to see a Sims 2 Let's Play, let me know too, because I think the Rags to Riches one is going to be ending here in the next couple of episodes. So I will see you all in the next video. Have a wonderful Saturday, whatever you're doing, whatever it is. I hope that you're happy and filled with joy. Bye!